Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. And you can hear in the background that Taz is joining in the conversation. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is August 27th. And this morning I'm reading from the Practitioner Handbook for Spiritual Mind Healing by Reverend Mary E. Mitchell. And I opened it up to page 131, and this is what the final paragraph on this page offers us. Our material world is a world of effects, and behind effects is the world of cause. Everything we see and experience is an effect that started from a cause somewhere in us. The universe we live in is one big chain reaction of cause and effect. Remembering this can help us stay on the spiritual path. When our experiences result in more frustration, anxiety, and unhappiness, it is time to wake up and see how far we've strayed off the path. What comes alive in me immediately is the reality in this human realm that we cannot heal what we refuse to reveal. And I think it's also really important to remember that we're using one consciousness, especially in this communal experience of humanity, that we don't live in a vacuum. And so in the wholeness of one absolute reality, of one consciousness, of one life, everything we each do impacts the whole. It's just like whatever we do with our individualized body impacts our whole body, right? The best example of that experience for me is the reminder of when I stumped my toe in the middle of the night, trying to wander around my house in the dark so I don't turn any lights on to wake anybody up. Every cell in my body is aware that I stumped my toe instantly. And so it reminds me that if every cell in my body, the micro expression experiences it, then that must translate to the wholeness of one. So everything that is experienced in one cell, one human, in the whole body of humanity, is experienced by the whole. Whatever is experienced in the universe, right, the whole of creation is experienced by the whole of creation. Whether we're aware of that or not is a whole different conversation. And so what I hear Reverend Mary offering us is a reminder that when things seem like they're going off the rails, where have we strayed from our spiritual practices? Where have we strayed from our spiritual beliefs? We can't change all of the circumstances of life, but we can absolutely change how we experience those circumstances. And oftentimes when we lean into an awareness of where we're fitting into that, where we're off the mark in our spiritual practices, we actually can change the circumstances. And I think over time, the more of us that live in alignment with spiritual principle, the more we heal or change the whole, so that this idea of a harmonious operation of one, a world that works for all, actually can manifest and is manifesting in the whole. And for many, many people right now, what is happening in the world of effects in our human experience is chaotic. It's painful. It looks like everything has gone off the rails. And so it's an invitation to see where are we out of alignment with spiritual principle. And then to do the work, the mental work, the treatment work, to remember the truth and to the best of our human ability live in alignment with that. Which for me means, instead of criticizing and vilifying people, to understand what belief is operating that is manifesting as this behavior. And then to treat for the spiritual truth, not to treat for something to go away, not to treat for the absence of something, but to pray for the presence of truth to be revealed, for the presence of peace to be revealed. It's always there. It's just a matter of whether or not we are open to seeing it, experiencing it, and being present in the process of revealing it and then empowering that to increase. It's a simple practice, and that does not mean it is easy in any shape or form. It just reminds me that it's simple. I remember my dear friend, Reverend Jeff Anderson, sharing with me once that his perspective on walking this spiritual path was much like staying on a balance beam, a 4-inch piece of wood where we're doing flips and dips and all kinds of things, and that he had come to realize that it was less about staying on the balance beam than realizing that we had fallen off, and how quickly can we get back on. That it is a process of falling, getting back on, regaining our balance, and moving forward. And the more we can do that without beating ourselves up, without guilting and shaming ourselves, without that screaming inner critic, the quicker we get back on the balance beam, the quicker we get back in alignment with our spiritual principle, the more quickly we embrace whatever is happening in the physical realm and know the truth of a bigger, more holistic, harmonious operation of one. So that's what's alive in me this morning. And I'm gonna get my timer up. I forgot to pull up my timer. There we go. So I'm going to read our reading one more time, the paragraph one more time, and take us into our time of meditation. Our world is a world of effects, and behind the effects is the world of cause. Everything we see and experience is an effect that started from a cause somewhere in us. The universe we live in is one big chain reaction of cause and effect. Remembering this can help us stay on the spiritual path. When our experience results in more frustration, anxiety, and unhappiness, it is time to wake up and see how far we've strayed off the path. So let's take that into our time of meditation and contemplation. So with this breath, I allow myself to go deeper, deeper into an awareness of the vibration of the absolute consciousness that is one. One consciousness, one source, one substance, one infinite intelligence, one life, one love, one peace, one power, one presence, one God, one spirit, one great mystery, whatever name we call it. It is one unformed everything. Infinite possibility with a desire to express, a desire to expand itself as one of a kind, never to be repeated, exquisitely individualized expressions of itself. And I know that I am that in form. And what is true of me must be true of all form. And in this truth, I recognize that being made out of it, I must contain it. Just as every ice cube contains water, every expression of this infinite beingness contains the infinite beingness. And so the very makeup and fabric, the very essence, the very substance of my being and all being is this one infinite intelligence, is the perfect wholeness of life itself, is the perfect peace, the perfect love. I am that I am. And so all that is ever necessary to live in the harmonious operation of one, to live in spiritual principle, to live from spiritual principle, to be in balance with all of life, lives, moves, and has its being within me. I am infinite intelligence in form. So every answer that I have ever needed, ever sought, is already fully present and available within me as me. And so I choose it now. And I recognize that what I choose for this individualized self, I choose for the whole. An awakening of the magnificence of every expression of life. An awakening to the infinite intelligence that is the intelligence of being itself. And an awareness, an awakeness, an openness to simply be aware. To be aware of what's possible. To be aware that there is no thing that is impossible. To understand the I am as I am possible. I'm possible. The antidote for the lie of impossible. I claim and affirm the courage and the willingness and the openness and the honesty to be all that I came here to be. To release all of the limitations of my human conditioning. And to continuously lean into a deeper, greater experience. To question everything on this journey to truth. Knowing that the question itself is the answer. And so I open to know, to be the harmonious operation of one. And I am grateful. I am grateful for the doer of creation, the activity of creation, that law that operates between cause to create effect, that operates exactly the same for everything and everyone, that is always doing, always responding to what is held in thought and belief that moves consciousness into being. I celebrate. I celebrate with the confidence of a faith that knows the word spoken is the word fulfilled, and so I know it is already done. There is no waiting period. There is only the moment of now. It is instantaneous. And so I release all of the chatter, all of the noise, all of the static that would negate the word spoken, that would delay my experience of what is. I let it all go, and I stand in the faith that it is done so that I may experience it in this human realm. And so claiming and affirming the completeness, the perfection, and the wholeness of the word spoken, I simply say, Ashe, Shalom, Aho, Amin, Amen. And so it is. Namaste.